Jay-Z's business and when I say business, his announcements, whether he's selling this or selling that and making this or making that, you're not harassing him to do an album.
Nope.
Same thing with Nas. Nas is just a little more quiet than Jay-Z about his business. You gotta Google and be scrolling, be like, what the fuck you mean Nas made $40 million off the ring? What do you mean he caught a $120 million bag off the pharmaceutical company?
Word.
What do you mean this is Nas tattoo shop in the, you get what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Those are the moves that really matter, and until people understand it, they're gonna think that podcast, oh, you're just podcast, whatever.
Yep.
Everybody keeps arguing about who had the better run, who dropped the better albums, who really won the culture. But that whole debate is starting to look outdated real fast because now something bigger just happened and it completely flipped how this conversation even sounds. Nas just got his casino bid approved while Jay-Z didn't, and now people are looking at this way different. This is not about music anymore. This is about power, strategy, and who's actually moving smarter when the spotlight isn't even on them.
And I'm not talking about nobody when I say this. I'm just being clear. I didn't understand how it worked at first. And then when I figured it out, I'm like, no wonder this nigga's sitting in his kitchen every week talking about a nigga. Because YouTube is sending this nigga a check.
Yeah.
Oh, this how this shit work. And I'm not saying I would ever do that. I'm not. But I just didn't understand why niggas was in their basement talking about niggas.
Yeah.
Then I figured it out after my sports show. I said,
For years, fans been going back and forth, picking sides, arguing about verses, albums, and legacy. But now the question hits different. Who's really playing the business game better? And that's where Camron comes in and flips the whole thing upside down, because what he's saying makes you realize this was never a fair comparison to begin with.
oh, this is why these niggas is in a white wall background. You can't see where they at.
Everybody taking passport pictures.
Exactly. There you go. 100%.
Word up.
Finding a reason to beef with somebody, pause.
Yeah, and that's the bullshit. That's why when Nori was telling me to do this show, I was like, yo, N.O., like,
these are two legends moving in completely different ways, building power in ways most people don't even catch until it's already done. Now listen to how Camron breaks this down, because he's not just talking, he's exposing the mindset shift that most people completely miss. He basically admits he didn't even understand why people were sitting online, talking every week, going back and forth, until he realized what was really going on.
I don't want to bring up no bullshit. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to be up here talking about this to go viral. Like, we all real niggas. Our story and who we are gonna go viral just off the moves we make.
Right.
And I want to teach the niggas coming up, the young niggas, that after rap.
Once he saw how those checks were coming in, how platforms were paying just to keep conversations alive, it clicked for him instantly. Suddenly, it wasn't random anymore. It was strategy, it was business, it was people finding ways to turn attention into income. But here's the part that actually matters. He made it clear that wasn't the lane he wanted to stay in. He didn't want to build a name off drama, random shots, or chasing viral moments just to keep people watching.
It's still life.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Niggas think that you gotta rap forever, and it's like, nah, dog, I rap when I want to because it's fun.
Right, absolutely. Like, look, let's think about this, and I know I keep using them, whether it's Nas or Jay-Z. Jay-Z's business and when I say business, his announcements, whether he's selling this or selling that and making this or making that, you're not harassing him to do an album.
Nope.
Same thing with Nas. Nas is just a little more quiet.
He said straight up, we don't gotta do that, because real stories, real moves, and real experience already carry enough weight on their own. And that's where the bigger lesson comes in, because he's trying to show the next wave that life doesn't stop after rap, and it definitely doesn't mean you gotta keep forcing relevance just to stay seen. There's a whole different level to this game, and most people are still stuck looking at the surface. Now this is where Jay-Z separates himself.
Then Jay-Z about his business. You gotta Google and be scrolling, be like, what the fuck you mean Nas made $40 million off the ring? What do you mean he caught a $120 million bag off the pharmaceutical company?
Word.
What do you mean this is Nas tattoo shop in the, you get what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Those are the moves that really matter. And until people understand it, they're going to think that podcast, oh, you're just podcast. Whatever. Because they're not going to be compared to, because you got to think about these are two-time greats. People have arguments who you like better than these two. But the business acumen to where
they both going.
Right,
it's
exactly.
Crazy. They both moving.
Yes.
But speaking about that Jay album, so you know on Drink Champs, I said, yo, Jay dropping the album.
Right.
That nigga called me. Like, yo, Bleak.
Because his whole approach is built around visibility, scale, and making sure every move hits the public like a statement. When he makes a deal, it's not quiet, it's not hidden. It's designed to shake the room and shift how people see him instantly. Whether he's selling steaks, partnering with major corporations, or stepping into billion-dollar spaces, everything gets announced. Everything becomes a headline, and that's not by accident. That's branding.
When the last record you heard of mine at the album dropping, I said, nigga, chill. Let's just call it wishful thinking. That nigga was like, yeah, man. He was on the phone trying to see if Guru was leaking some shit to me.
Right.
I'm like, nah, I can't tell him my dog Goo.
Right, exactly. But see, that's, and I know y'all have a different dynamic, but that's just another thing speaking to the level of business. It was a time, I don't know if 444, whatever album it was, and I know Juan, like Juan's a shout out to Juan. Juan is just another nigga that,
oh man,
he been up since I was 4 or 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about these are two very smart businessmen. So I'm not sure if it's 444, what album it was.
That's leverage. That's turning business into a spectacle that keeps his name at the highest level at all times. And when you look closer, you realize he's not just making money, he's controlling perception while doing it. There was even a point where his album was basically platinum before it officially dropped because of a phone deal, and that alone shows you how different he's thinking. He's not waiting on streams or sales the traditional way. He's structuring plays so the win is already locked in before the public even catches up.
But the album was platinum before it came out because it was in a phone.
Yeah, no, that was Blueprint 3.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that was BP3.
Like, yo, these niggas got this shit, no, forget it.
I remember
when you do shit like that, it makes you be like, yo, what am I doing this for? You get what I'm saying? If I've been doing music this long and I ain't busting these type of moves, I need to figure out something else to get around that. Even if I'm not close, the rap shit I'm doing is not comparing to teaming up with a phone company
and selling
a million
before
units
before the shit
even dropped.
Is insane.
Right.
Yeah, that was BP3. That was different.
That's when I'm like, y'all get to a single or song when I get to that shit, my nigga. Because if them ain't the moves, them ain't the move.
No, I give you that for sure, man.
That's a completely different level of planning, and it forces everybody else to either evolve or get left behind. This is the mogul in plain sight strategy, loud, calculated, and always making sure the world sees exactly how big the move really is. Now flip that and look at how Nas moves, because this is a completely different type of power. He's not making big announcements every time he makes a play. He's not running to the spotlight to explain every investment. And he's definitely not trying to turn every move into a headline. Instead, he's moving quiet, calculating, and letting everything build behind the scenes until it's already done. You don't hear about it while it's happening. You find out after the money is already made, and by that point, the move is locked in. That's why people randomly wake up and see headlines like he made tens of millions off a tech startup or cleared a massive bag from a pharmaceutical investment. And now even this casino approval is just another example stacking on top of that. It almost feels like you gotta go searching just to keep up with what he's doing because he's not putting it in your face every week. And that's the whole strategy. No noise, no pressure, just execution. This is that silent assassin approach, where the results speak louder than anything else, and by the time people catch on, he's already on to the next move. So when you step back and really look at this, the whole who's better debate starts to feel kind of surface level, because what Jay-Z and Nas are doing now is way bigger than music. This is about strategy, long-term thinking, and how you turn a rap career into something that keeps paying long after the songs stop dropping. One of them built a system where every move is visible, loud, and powerful enough to shape how the entire industry reacts, while the other built a system where the moves stay quiet, calculated, and still end up generating massive results without needing constant attention. And that's the real lesson most people miss. There isn't just one way to win this game. You can build influence by being seen everywhere, making sure your name stays attached to every major conversation, or you can build assets behind the scenes and let the results hit when they're already undeniable. Both paths work, but only if you actually understand what you're doing and stay consistent with it. What they both prove is simple. Hip-hop was never supposed to be the finish line. It's just the starting point for something bigger. At the end of the day, this isn't about who had the hardest bars or the better album run anymore. It's about who built something that lasts. And whether you respect the loud approach or the quiet one more, the outcome is the same. They both turn their names into empires that keep growing regardless of what's happening in music. That's a different level of thinking entirely, and most people are still trying to catch up to it. And just like that, you see it clear as day. This was never just about music. This was about power, strategy, and who's really building something that lasts. Jay-Z went loud, made sure the whole world saw every move, while Nas stayed quiet and still ran up massive wins behind the scenes. Two completely different styles, same destination, real empire status. Now it's on you to decide which one you respect more, the loud power moves or the silent money plays. Either way, you just watched two of the smartest minds in hip-hop show exactly how the game is really played when the cameras ain't even rolling. Make sure you tap that like button, lock in with the channel, and stay tuned because we're breaking down moves like this every single time. This is Dripzine, and we're not missing nothing.